Hello, everyone, and welcome. We're presenting on behalf of Tata Design. But before we introduce the team, we'd like to introduce you to someone more important, Val. Val is an 82-year-old who is retired but has a very active social life. She spends a lot of her free time with her friends and family, going to different social events and occasions. When she's not with her friends and family, she likes to spend time running errands or spending time with her grandson, Mickey. Val is worried about getting to these activities because of her lack of eyesight and limited mobility. So driving can be extremely challenging as she gets in and out of the vehicle. Val is not alone in these concerns and represents many of the key values and needs of users that we've spent this year working with. Driving as an aging adult can be extremely challenging as mobility and other skills and abilities are diminishing. Here lies an opportunity. Autonomous vehicles. Autonomous vehicles have the ability to allow users to regain independence and mobility as they move forward in their years.
So let us now introduce the team. My name is Alexi. This is Cecilia. We have Brett, Rebecca, Alex, Brennan, and from Coventry as well, we've got Hassan, Owen, and Ben.
This team of Tata Design is a unique collaboration between two institutions, with 5 design engineers from Olin College of Engineering and 5 automotive designers from Coventry University in the UK, along with our corporate sponsor Autodesk, a 2 and 3D design engineering software company, and our corporate partner Tata Motors.
So the first thing that we did when we started this project is we wanted to create a shared plan which would allow us to combine our 2 disciplines. This project was essentially split up into 2 parts. It was the product part of the project and also the collaboration part where we were exploring different methods of how we could work together. But here we're mainly going to be focusing on the actual the process. So the first part was the scope part of the project. So here we formed our team, so we all got to know each other very well. We defined the project very clearly, so we made sure that we understood the brief and that we understood what we wanted our outcomes to be. And we created the process, so we made sure that we could think of new ways that we could work together. Next was the study phase. So here we wanted to really get into the mindsets of our users. So we did user interviews, co-designs, which we'll speak a little bit more later on about, and also user representations. The next was the synthesize phase. So essentially here, we wanted to take everything we'd learned in the study phase and start to apply it to some designs. So here we started sketching, coming up with ideas, coming up with our initial concept development. And then finally was the send phase. So here, we picked out all the ideas that we liked, and it was just a case of bringing them all together and kind of finishing off the project so we could show it to everyone here today.
So what did this process actually look like? Because it was a collaborative team, we were able to go to various user interviews and co-design sessions with our users and bring them designs and sketches that we had created. We were then able to get feedback from them and iterate and change our designs to get real feedback from users.
So the sketches started off really rough. We wanted to really try and think outside the box and push our ideas as much as possible. And then we started sketching kind of more defined ideas when we were thinking more about what the kind of final vehicle was going to look like. And then we came up with 4 key distinct different concepts, each based on a user representation. And then we took out the best ideas from those into a final design.
So throughout this process, we made sure to continuously be going back to that information that we had gathered during our user interviews and co-designs. We came up with 4 key values that we needed to design the autonomous vehicle around. The vehicle had to be accessible, comfortable, safe, and intuitive. Accessibility was extremely important, in particular in the entrance and egress of the vehicle. We designed the car to have a large door and opening to allow users to enter and exit the vehicle without the need to bend or twist or step up in an uncomfortable manner.
So from egress and ingress to the stiffness and cushion of seats, there's so many different things you could think about when you're talking about the comfort inside of a vehicle. But what we wanted to really focus on is what we called social comfort. So we came up with this crisscross interior seating position. So the idea is that this is the most natural social environment where passengers can interact really comfortably and feel really at home inside of the car.
Safety was also a key factor in the design of our vehicle. As an autonomous vehicle, it was going to have all of the safety features that were expected of it. However, it was also critical that our users feel safe. Since they don't have a lot of control inside the vehicle, they needed to know that throughout the experience, the vehicle would be doing exactly what's expected of it and that they were safe at all times during the ride.
So another thing that our users spoke to us about was that they found using technology quite challenging. So for the interface of this vehicle, we wanted to make it as intuitive as possible. So we did this using a few things. So the vehicle has voice control inside of it. It's also got very clear visual and auditory indicators. And there's loads of feedback back and forth to the user, and that's all encompassed in this central control panel, which you can see in front of you here.
So how would our users actually use this vehicle? Well, let's bring it back to where we started with Val. One day, Val decided that it would be nice to go on a picnic. So she invited her friend Larry and her grandson along. Larry doesn't have a car and doesn't drive, so asked if Val could pick him up. And she, of course, said yes. On her way to Larry's house, Val used the auditory and visual interface of the vehicle because of her limited eyesight. When getting to Larry's house, it was extremely helpful for the doorway to be so large because Larry was able to easily get into the vehicle. Because of his limited mobility, it's hard for him to get into and out of most traditional vehicles. When they got to the park, they were able to unload their picnic and enjoy a day in the sun without the added stress and even sometimes guilt of needing help at any point during that day. We'd like to end with a special thank you to all of our liaisons, mentors, and partners who helped us along the way with this project, as well as to all of you. So, thank you.